So bagels are a relatively inexpensive food, right? 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 Uh, well, not this bagel. Let's talk about it. Back in a minute. Good morning, good morning. This is Jan from New York City, channel name Jan from New York City saves money, and I truly love helping people keep some more of their own hard-earned money. Could that be you? How you doing today? Hope that this audio video finds everybody doing well. As always, bagels are a relatively inexpensive food to have, right? 99% of the time, but not in my case, and not about well, over a decade ago or about a decade ago. Let me tell you, there's a thing that I put in my head, and it's called mindless spending. Mindless. Now, sometimes we're fixed in our mind that something on the outside tastes way better, way, way, way better than anything that we could put together at home, right? That could be a big mistake. Okay. So here in New York, there are some, really good stores. There's some really, really good fresh bagels. Don't get me wrong. They are amazing. And there was a time that I used to live near a store that sold nothing but bagels and something like 50 different toppings for the bagel. I'm not even exaggerating. We could talk about replicating some of those toppings in a minute or two. But in case for those who don't know, and by the way, if you're brand new to the channel, welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for stopping by to the Instant Coffee with Jan show, which is an audio show Monday through Friday that uploads every midnight. Well, actually, technically 12:05 a.m. Just saying, in case you're up super early eating a bagel. But this bagel from the outside was costing me a lot of money. You see, it goes back to everything I always say about doing things in increments, whether it's a good thing or a bad thing or a neutral thing. Now, for anybody with savings goals, we try to do whatever we can to save or to keep money. Maybe we need it for something different. Maybe we don't know our own habits. But I want to tell you a story for the folks who are pretty new here or fairly new here. Because when I first broke this story a couple of years back, there was significantly less viewers and subscribers. So I'm just going to rerun the story again for anybody who wants to refresh, of course, or for those who have not heard my story yet, ever. All right. So back a few years ago, I don't know, I was just infatuated with the way a certain store would prepare their as I call an outside bagel. Oh, they would toast it up just the right way. Oh, the flavor was like flavor perfection. Oh, this and all that. And of course, you buy a little cup of coffee to wash down that outside bagel. You know what I'm saying? Meantime, back at the ranch, like one day maybe I'd spend at that time back then, $4 a day to $5 a day. That, if I decided to get the outside coffee with this, okay? And I'm just being honest here. At that time, I wasn't mindful of this. So then the next day, boy, I don't know what it is, but that person really, really knows how to prepare my bagel exactly the way I like it. Boy, oh boy, they sure can slab that, walnut cream cheese on top of it, maple walnut cream cheese on top of it. Yum, 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 yum. Something I can't do, just, something I couldn't figure out to do at home, scratch my head nowadays going, where was my brain at that moment? So the next day would come, and of course, inevitably, what would I do? Get another one of those outside bagels, cha-ching, cha-ching. The register was ringing, but not in my favor. You see, it's those little insidious habits that add up. And then one day I realized, wait a minute, something's not working out here on my budget. Good enough that I was starting to pay better attention. I mean, more of a serious attention. Well, where's this money going, Jan? Then I'd look at the list and go, uh, uh, uh. We're talking about like about $25 a week just because I wanted a bagel and outside coffee. Hello. So I know what it's like to get caught up in that. And I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't go there right now for the life of me. I wouldn't go there. I'm proud enough sitting with my 25-cent instant cup of joe. I'm just saying, I could just like really slap myself silly for having wasted that money. And as far as the maple walnut cream cheese topping, this is something we could do ourselves. And one day I got very, very, very creative. And I took plain whipped cream cheese, get a load of my recipe here. Plain whipped cream cheese, right? And I added a little bit, not much, like maybe a tablespoon of pancake syrup, okay, to the tub, the whole tub. And I added some cinnamon and I crushed some walnuts into it, and I made my own tub of my maple walnut cream cheese. Now, was it exactly like the kind of store sold? No, but it was a fraction of the price, and I had it readily available. If I had wanted it, not necessarily on a bagel, I might spread that on a piece of toast. This is something anybody could do. And then when I did the math and I realized, oh my goodness, how much money was going down the garbage can. I didn't like it. I didn't like it at all. So I chalked it up to lessons learned and to be more and more particular about the daily habits. This is why I emphasize this so much. In a way, this was a very good thing that had happened back then. That's the kind of thing that launched me into realizing really and truly about the importance of when we incrementally spend in a negative way all the time, that adds up. But on the other hand, I turned it into a positive and I made up my mind. Well, Jen, if you want your own darn bagel, you could get the kind from the grocery store. It's just as good. What does it take? 2 minutes to toast? What did it take me? A couple of seconds really to slap together the whipped cream cheese maple thing? Come on now, honestly. So I made it myself and I didn't even have to go to the store to pick it up. So I also saved some extra time doing that. It all adds up. Is there a habit, one thing that you might be doing? Everybody's situation is different. And sometimes we do get caught up in a thing called life and we're not mindful. Hey, if you can afford it at the moment, it doesn't make a dent in your budget, and all your important bills, all bills are paid, and you have money left over to save. Great, terrific. Then it doesn't apply to you. But if you have savings goals, or if you're not making ends meet, find those ways that maybe without even realization that you are throwing your money without even realizing it innocently in the garbage can every day. Really, all it takes is a little bit of examination of our spending habits and tracking our habits, making the changes and seeing the results. There you go. Looking back at all those years ago, I could have saved myself a bundle back then. But because I didn't do it and I stopped doing it, I did save a bundle from the moment I decided to correct that habit to the point of right now. Hey, thank you so much for being here. I really do appreciate every single one of you. And don't forget to do the following. Have an amazing, fantastic day. Take good care of yourselves and your families.